Here is a question I want you to sit with for a moment. When does your home actually get messy? Not the big obvious answer, not after a party or after a week of not cleaning. I mean the regular, everyday mess that accumulates in your home during a completely normal week. When does it happen? What creates it? If you think about it honestly, you will realize something uncomfortable. The mess does not happen during dramatic moments. It happens during ordinary ones. It happens when you set something down and do not pick it up. When you open something and do not put it away. When you bring something in and do not give it a home. The mess in your home right now is the result of hundreds of tiny, invisible, ordinary moments that each felt completely harmless in isolation. Japanese homemakers understand this so completely that they have built their entire approach to the home around one central truth. Mess is never the problem. Mess is the symptom. The problem is the accumulation mechanism, the specific daily behaviors that allow mess to build layer by layer until it becomes something that requires real effort to address. Today, I am going to give you the Japanese habits that dismantle that mechanism entirely. Not habits that help you clean up mess faster. Habits that prevent the accumulation from ever starting in the first place. To dismantle something, you need to understand how it works. And the accumulation mechanism that creates household mess works in a way that most people have never consciously examined. Mess accumulates in layers. The first layer is almost invisible. A jacket placed on a chair, a cup left on the coffee table, a few pieces of mail on the kitchen counter. None of these individually registers as mess. Each one feels like a temporary arrangement that will be dealt with soon. But soon does not come. And on top of that first invisible layer, a second layer forms. A bag joins the jacket on the chair. Another cup joins the first on the coffee table. More mail joins the existing pile. The layers compound. And at some point, a point that is different for every household but arrives inevitably, the accumulation crosses a threshold where it starts to feel overwhelming, where addressing it requires a dedicated block of time and significant motivation. Japanese psychologists describe this threshold crossing as the moment when the home shifts from a space you manage to a space that manages you. And once that shift happens, the psychological weight of the accumulated mess actually suppresses the motivation to address it. The bigger the mess, the more overwhelming it feels. The more overwhelming it feels, the easier it is to avoid. And the avoidance adds another layer. The Japanese habits I am about to share all target this mechanism at its earliest stage, before the first invisible layer has a chance to form. Because preventing the first layer costs almost nothing. Reversing 10 accumulated layers costs your entire Saturday. This is the single most practical habit on this list, and the one that has the most immediate impact on daily accumulation. Japanese homemakers call the principle behind it Karaté, empty hand. The operating rule is this. You never move through your home with an empty hand when there is something nearby that belongs somewhere else. Every time you stand up from the couch, you carry something to where it belongs on your way to wherever you are going. Every time you leave a room, you take with you at least one item that does not belong there. Every time you go to the kitchen, you bring whatever cup or glass or plate has accumulated in the living area. Every time you go upstairs, you carry whatever has migrated downstairs that belongs up there. This habit requires zero additional time. You are already moving through your home dozens of times per day. The empty hand rule simply adds a small cargo to movements you are already making. The item you carry takes 3 seconds to place correctly. Those 3 seconds prevent the accumulation of items that would otherwise require 20 minutes to address collectively at the end of the day. Applied consistently, this habit makes whole categories of mess impossible. The living area never accumulates dishes because dishes travel back to the kitchen with the person who used them. The bedroom never fills with items from other rooms because those items travel back to their homes with every person who moves between spaces. The home essentially self-sorts continuously throughout the day through the ordinary movement of the people who live in it. The second habit addresses one of the most underestimated sources of household accumulation. In Japanese home culture, Every category of loose items, charging cables, keys, small tools, children's small toys, cosmetics, medicines, lives in a dedicated container. Not a general drawer where things accumulate randomly. A specific, sized container for that specific category. This is called Hako no Chitsujo, the order of boxes. And its power lies not in the organization it creates, but in the accumulation limit it imposes. A container has a fixed capacity. When a container is full, it signals immediately that something must be removed before anything new can be added. The container functions as a physical constraint on accumulation. It makes unlimited accumulation within its category literally impossible. In American homes, most categories of loose items have no container and therefore no accumulation limit. The kitchen junk drawer grows indefinitely. The bathroom counter accepts an unlimited number of products. The children's toy area expands into surrounding spaces without boundary. The container system removes this limitlessness. Every category has a boundary. Every boundary prevents category-specific accumulation from developing beyond a manageable level. The third habit targets the single greatest accumulation surface in most homes, the flat horizontal surface. Kitchen counters, coffee tables, dining tables, bathroom counters, the top of the dresser. In Japanese home culture, these surfaces are governed by what I call the zero-tolerance flat surface rule. Flat surfaces are for active use, not passive storage. Nothing lives on a flat surface. Things are placed on flat surfaces during active use and removed when that use is complete. The reason this matters is that flat surfaces are accumulation magnets by design. They are convenient, accessible, and visible. If flat surfaces are held to a standard of active use only, they reset continuously throughout the day rather than compounding layer by layer. Apply this to one flat surface first. Pick the one that bothers you most. Clear it completely. Then enforce the active use standard. Nothing stays on that surface unless it is being actively used right now. Notice how the discipline of one clear surface changes how the entire surrounding area feels. Then extend it to the next surface. The fourth habit operates on a weekly rhythm rather than a daily one, but it is the habit that catches everything the daily habits miss, the slow accumulation that happens below the threshold of daily awareness. Once per week, Japanese homemakers conduct what I call an accumulation audit of 3 specific areas. Not the whole house. 3 areas, typically the areas most prone to accumulation in that particular household. Each area gets a 5-minute evaluation. Is there anything here that has been here for more than a week without being used or addressed? Is there anything that has no designated home and is therefore defaulting to this surface or this space? Is there any category of item that is clearly expanding beyond its appropriate boundary? The accumulation audit is not a cleaning session. It is a detection practice. It finds accumulation in its early stages, before it reaches the threshold where it becomes overwhelming, and addresses it while it is still small and manageable. A week's worth of drift takes 5 minutes to reverse. A month's worth takes an hour. The audit ensures you are always addressing the former rather than the latter. The deeper principle that unites all 4 of these habits is one that Japanese home culture has understood for centuries. Accumulation is not the result of laziness. It is the result of absent systems. When systems are present, when the empty hand rule governs movement, when containers impose limits, when flat surfaces enforce active use standards, when weekly audits catch early drift, accumulation simply has no mechanism through which to develop. You do not need more motivation to keep your home clear of mess. You need fewer opportunities for mess to accumulate. These 4 habits remove those opportunities one by one until the accumulation mechanism that has been running quietly in the background of your home simply has nothing left to work with. The mess stops not because you fight it harder, because you remove the conditions that create it. That is the Japanese approach, and it works.